Is there anything that you glean when you look at Facebook now as a divorced person? Like, you know what I mean? Like what do you feel like you can see divorce coming from the Facebook page? What do you see? Like, what's the signs of trouble in social media?
On the female's page, when she's just with her friends, when you see pictures of her and she's with her friends a lot. With the guy, you see him with pictures with his kids all the time.
Okay.
So and you're like, and you never see them together. Or if you do see them, you'll see them on polar up on each end. The kids are in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So there's nothing that shows them cohesiveness together.
That means we stand together for the kids.
We stand together for the kids.
That means?
Yes, and you can tell, right.
811 crew, we are back in his house, and
we're back.
I'm Jay Turner, and we're with
Ulysses Slugger Glenn.
Sluggerific is what I call him. And now we're gonna talk. Now we've talked about the kids, but I'm ready to get back to talking about us, talking about me, talking about this 50+ thing. What are we doing? We teed up a poll question, but we're talking about divorce over 50. Now what?
I actually should have been divorced first.
Oh.
I've actually come to that conclusion. I should have been divorced first and then got married.
Explain that.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but I enjoy. When I got divorced, I was ready to be divorced. So, but I was also ready to be married when I did get married.
Yeah.
But being divorced over 50 is actually very enlightening. You learn yourself. You know what you like to do. Just being 50, period. You know, I don't have to. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't feel forced to do it. As far as going out, you know, you don't want to be the old man in the club with Gray. You're like, okay, because that means when you're the old man at the club, you're buying drinks for everyone.
Right.
You meet a chick at the bar.
You're supposed to have a pension or something, right?
You're buying a drink for her.
Stop it.
And her friends.
And them chicken fingers too. And the chicken
tenders. Right. Like you're ordering food, everything. Right. You're like, no.
Right. She asking you, did you want a cheeseburger?
Yeah. I remember when I first got divorced and started going out, and I'm like, no, I'll buy one drink for you, one person, but I'm not buying a table full of drinks.
You know, it's just funny. And I mean, we digress too because, you know, certainly you have gender equality, and I'm a feminist, and I believe that, you know, women's equality, everything. I have a daughter. I want everything to be equal, etc. But somehow when it comes...
How are you a feminist?
Well, a feminist by definition. Oh, see now. Here we go again.
It's like, how are you a feminist?
I love it. I love when you got.
Just because you have a daughter doesn't mean you're a
no.
feminist.
It does make me a feminist. You know why? Because a feminist is someone who is passionate about women's life, rights, enjoyment, and getting everything to the fullest. And I certainly want that for my daughter, man.
That's just what people will want for anyone.
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like
I want that for like a dog. I wouldn't become a dog.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know,
dogist.
I can say, look, what I can tell you is that
feminist. Listen, that's not what a feminist is.
Let me broaden this discussion, okay? One of the things that has been
broaden the discussion.
We got to broaden the discussion, man.
You can't define the feminism.
Oh no, I'm gonna talk about the feminism. I'm gonna talk about the femininity of things.
Are we talking about over 50? If I'm gonna go to the club, or if I'm gonna like,
wait. Can I just bring this back, please? Can I moderate this? Can I just?
I dated a feminist. So believe me.
Look, what I will say is this. I am a girl dad.
Okay.
And I truly believe that, you know, so I'm an empty, you know what, let me just say this. I am about to be 53 and I am an empty nester. And the crazy thing is, I remember when I started having kids, I remember thinking ahead of time and being like, yo, in about 20 years or so, I'm going to be in my young 50s and finally all these kids are gone. And lo and behold, it's like the Twilight Zone that I am here, and it's just really tripping me out. So I knew that there was kind of a difference, et cetera, when my son left, and you know, 21, when he was headed out, I was like, all right, bruh, you know, good work. I'm proud of you. Go forth. You know, be fruitful, be responsible, etc. I was not emotional. I was prideful. I was happy for him, etc. But I was not like choked up. A couple weeks ago, as you know, my daughter's going to be has left the country. She's leaving the country to do her 12th grade year, in a foreign country. Now, I didn't have a Winnebago, a swimming pool, a housekeeper named Vera, or rental properties. But I tell you what, my daughter is going to the American school in another country, so she's going to learn Spanish. So that is cool.
That's kind of cool.
I like that, right?
That's cool.
Okay, I'm not a social climber, but that is dope. So, but all I'm saying is that when she was getting ready to leave, man, I started talking about how proud I am of my girl, and all of a sudden I'm just crying, yo. I'm just bawling. My family's looking at me like, wait, I ain't never seen this boy. And it just came over me, you know what I mean? So being an empty nester, being over 50, like I think when being older now, it's like all of this emotional baggage just that I didn't even know I was carrying just hit me.
So I've been an empty nester twice. So my son went to boarding school.
That's right.
So he went to boarding school. So and then after that he moved to Puerto Rico. So I was
okay. Wait a minute. Okay. I mean, listen. Can we get a whiteboard? Can we get a white? It's going to be called the whiteboard of privilege.
Well,
okay,
your daughter
we're going to
is in another country.
She
too,
is
so.
in another country, but so far now after in another segment we talked about the rental properties,
right?
And now we're talking about kids going. I just said my kid went to a foreign. Your kid went to boarding school.
Yeah, he went to
like Exeter Prep.
He went to,
what is it? One of those.
he went to Canterbury. He went to Canterbury.
Oh, Canterbury. Okay, very Canterbury.
Cheerio.
Yeah. Where he played lacrosse.
He played lacrosse.
Oh, wow.
He actually played lacrosse.
Did they even have a football or basketball team there?
Oh, yeah.
Did they have a spades team?
No,
never mind.
No,
probably
no,
not. Okay.
I'm
sure it was very diverse up there.
Well, actually, it was.
You wanted him to have the same diversity experience you had.
But except he was in Jack and Jill, so he had that diversity. Okay, yeah. See, I didn't have that.
I didn't either. I didn't have that at all.
I didn't have that.
Right.
Getting back to the empty nester.
I'm sorry. We're just carrying on here.
But as an empty nester, I remember because what happened is when I got divorced is when he went to boarding school. So it was like I was like a completely empty nester. So
and that's early too. I mean, you kind of got into the groove of okay.
Right. I remember turning 45 and having a party, and people didn't even know I had gotten divorced. So because my divorce was in June, my birthday's in August, so it's not like I put a message, "Hey, I'm happy and free now." So I remember having a party, and when I sent the invitation out, it kind of let people know, like, Ulysses it's hosted by me, and you could see the people. It was more single people coming, and so so that was one thing I did as an empty nester. I did start going out. Then you realize that, like, hey, I'm the old guy here.
Yeah.
And then one thing about DC though, they have older clubs. And I used to go to this spot. I'm not going to say the name, but it's really nice. And they would play all 80s and 90s hip hop.
Right.
And it was open till like 3 a.m.
Okay.
And then you're like, I'm old. Like, I'm old. Like, I'm here with other old people.
Right.
Like,
meanwhile, when you said that, all I thought was 3 in the morning, the pancake house. That's all I thought.
I remember.
Our kids hate us doing that stuff.
I remember when you first start going, you're like, first of all, you have to realize, people dress different. When you get divorced, you're an empty nester. You're like, oh, I gotta get like going out clothes now.
Right.
I look like a dad.
Right, exactly. And one time, like, I'm in Jack and Jill too. I did, and go to Jack and Jill, even though I didn't know nothing about it growing up. But kids in Jack and Jill, and so I rolled up. Now I'm divorced. And you roll up to the Jack and Jill little family day, and
right.
Because my former wife and I are still cool, we would still go
That's
to
nice.
the family. We would both show up there to support the kids, etc. It was really good. But now I rolled up and had on some jeans with some holes in there, and kind of like and kind of like an Adidas shirt. And meanwhile, the dads are standing around with their long Dockers cargo on, and the little 3/4 zip, and the little thing, and they're like, "Hey, Jason," they're like, "Boy, you look youthful." You know what I mean? And I'm like, "You look whack." I'm sorry. And old, and
when our married
I'm
friends
glad
say
your
that,
wife
you're
likes
like,
it.
You're like, oh wow, you look like they look like their wife dressed them.
They look.
Right,
It
right.
looks horrible. Like, and now, like, ever since our young millennial partners and friends started, now that I know about the hoochie daddy shorts, now I can't stand to see a grown man in them big cargo shorts. Now, granted, it's got a lot of utility. You can have your wife's grocery list in there. You can have both your phones. You know what I
A
mean?
sandwich for
You
later.
can have your old beeper in there. So, man, you can, I don't know, you have your AARP cards.
I refuse. And by the way, I refuse to sign up for AARP.
Oh, really?
I was like,
I don't think AARP just finds you. I don't think they need
Well,
you
no.
to sign up.
Well, it's funny that when I turned 50, they just sent me something. I threw it away because I was like, I don't.
They'll
first,
start to send it to you like twice a year, saying you are old now.
So do you use your?
Tell us about your AARP benefits.
I throw it in the trash every time it comes
Oh,
because
Lord have mercy.
even though I think age is just a number and empty nester, I am
Okay,
true.
Alina.
I am
Age
a
is just a
true
number.
empty nester.
Age is just a number.
Age is
It's just.
But the nice thing is, you've been married, you have kids, you have a job, you own your home. So anything else you do now is like gravy,
Right.
And it's like, our friends, some of our married friends think that we're just always running around, orgies, wild and loose.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have no idea.
Absolutely.
For men,
no clue.
Yeah, for men, they think
Tell them about what happened. Tell them what they think.
they think we're like our married friends think that we're just like swinging from the chandeliers.
Oh my God,
Like,
yes.
You're out every night.
Out
You're
every
out
night.
at the club.
Club. I'm
Like what
no,
movie
I'm
are you
asleep.
looking at? Like,
I'm
it's
like-
crazy, right? I'm at home watching
Right.
Netflix
Home.
just like you.
Like,
Like
Or
what are you-
sitting in somebody's backyard, sitting there, falling
Right,
asleep in a chair.
exactly.
well,
Right.
I mean, I can't be at park. It's on Saturday night. Like I
Right.
would look like a weirdo.
And it does seem weird, as we talked about.
I look like R. Kelly.
One of my close friends who happens to be a woman, and I got to clarify this thing now because when I was thinking about this, and a couple other episodes back, I said, well, I think I had something to say about dudes who say that they have a female like best friend, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my over 50 time, I have made some friends with women. I feel like and older who are cool. And one of my closest homies right now is a sister that I really love and respect. And she said to me, when we were talking about dating, etc. She was like, Jay, she said, you about to be how old? I said 53. She said, I'm just saying, do you really want to be the 53-year-old rolling through the club trying to get chicks' numbers, etc.? I was like, that does not sound cool.
No, because
at that point, I was ready to try internet dating. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, stop it."
Because first of
not
all,
going out.
First of all, people don't exchange numbers. What they do, they use their Instagram. Like, oh, here's my
Okay,
hit me
they
on Instagram.
DM you or something. Hit me on my DM, something
You're
like
like,
that.
oh, see, I got
okay.
young
That's
cousins.
kinda
So
millennial.
Because then there's like no obligation. They're not going to actually call you,
You don't
and
have
you
to
can
be-
either accept them or not accept them.
And you don't have to be ghosted. The whole ghost thing. You don't really know who I am.
Yeah.
Like the only thing when we were younger you had was a club name. I used to love having a club name. But club name, because realize with a name like Ulysses, everyone's going to remember that.
Right. Maybe you should just go with Glenn.
Oh no. My club name. No, my club name was. I used to go by Chad.
Chad.
Yep. I was like Chad.
Hanging Chad.
It was like
Mine was kind of. I went by Cinnamon.
a stripper name.
Wow.
If you really
That's your
ask
flavor.
me,
That's your flavor.
I would say cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Seriously?
Because it's spicy.
Okay.
But you can call me
what,
Sin.
What club were you working at?
So
though,
did
for
you?
real?
So did you have like glitter on too?
No.
Did you take tips?
Or did you smell like pineapple?
Why
and
can
coconut?
you have a name? Why
Did
does
you
my
have heels
name
on?
have to be a stripper name?
And
Cinnamon
and you know what? And just because she said her name is Cinnamon, why are we making these types of references?
See?
Because it's the truth.
I'm asking you.
If I meet someone named
Wow.
Cinnamon, I'm like either their parents were really high, or that's not her name. That's her stage name.
Wow.
You never
and
had a,
and
you
as
have,
named.
you have a club name?
No.
You did?
No. I mean, I'm not really. I don't really go.
When I was
I'm
younger,
just like,
all the time. Especially when I would go out of town. I'm not. Oh, perfect.
no. Friday the
Oh.
13th, I'm gonna play Jason. That's it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Look, when we come back, we're going to talk more about life after 50. We're going to talk about what you need to do. We're trying to live our best life after 50. 811 crew. We'll be right back.
And let me know if I should still use my club name.
811 crew, we are back, and we are getting to the heart of the matter now in terms of divorce over 50. Now what? We're talking about, do you get out? Do you stay home? Do you hang out? Strategies for living your best life now you're divorced and over 50 or just over 50. I'm thinking more about this, etc. And I'm thinking, how do you find a new wing man or a wing woman, right? You mean you're going to get out there. So you think about it, when you're married, you hang out as a couple.
And you
so it's you and your wife, and it's in the married crew, and everybody's hanging out. Now everybody's divorced. As we talked about on other episodes, your whole social network is blown up. Now you got to start hanging out with another dude, another guy again. You don't have you can't just hang at the bar with the other married guys while the other girls over there. So how do you go about getting a new wingman or wing woman if you're a sister out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for women, but for guys, a lot of us got divorced around the same time. So, we all got married around the same time.
That's true.
So basically, within 3 to 4 years, the majority of my friends who were married got divorced. The ones that are still married, there's some that are still married, but probably 60% of my friends got divorced.
Okay.
Yeah, at least about 60%.
Yeah.
So you picked up those relationships. And then some relationships you went back, people you hadn't talked to in a while, they were divorced or never got married. You started hanging out. You started doing more guy trips, things like that. But at this age, meeting new, you do meet new people that you find. We're in fraternities, so you have fraternity brothers. So that's one thing you can always go back to.
And we talked a little bit about doing more activities. Finding something. I looked at it when I was looking at this as, who's doing the things that I want to do.
Right.
So a lot of times we look at social media and you see people doing things, et cetera. And many times they're flying to Barbados or whatever, depending on whatever. But, I'm really, when I saw people getting out there bike riding, this happened in October 2020. I saw people bike riding, getting out when nobody else could go out. And so that led me to find new friends, even in an environment over 50 where you might think, well, there's no new friends now.
No new friends.
But in fact,
no new friends.
That's not true.
There is. We actually have a poll question. We have Carmen here, and once again, Carmen has her hair out.
Yeah.
And so Carmen's here. She has her ears to the street.
The streets.
She's in the streets.
Right. How do people recover? So what's the deal? Are people just like, I'm trying to get out? Are people like, I just want to stay home and clear my head? What's the deal, Carmen?
Right. I think you guys are going to always be surprised about the outcome. Okay? All right.
Always?
I feel like so, because when I saw it, I was like, that's different, but okay. Because then that kind of leads to the belief that y'all be turning up. Because out and about got 57% and home got 43%. So apparently people think that y'all out here having a good time, after that ring came off.
Okay. I have to, I will say it's different. You do different type of things than you would do when you were married. So I have traveled places I didn't go to when I was married. But it's a different type of hanging out. I'm not at the club, even though I wish, probably because I would be asleep. But
yeah. But, it's funny. I feel like now I'm looking at the two things like, I've never been a big hang out, type person, being out at the club. Ironically, I'm somewhere between. I like being at home. Like I really do like being at the crib, on my sofa. But I also like being out and about, not like hanging out, but like being out, riding my bike, walking exercising.
Doing
those things are good, et cetera. So, I think that what's interesting though is the new people also that you're hanging out with, right? Like, so for instance, I remember like a good friend of mine, I'm not going to name his name. Okay. But let's not say a name. I'm just going to say, for example, you might have had that one friend that was married when you were married. Now, you never would have seen yourself going out to the club or hanging out with old Bernard.
Right.
Okay? Like, but now that's your dude.
That's what, you're like, how did we become? Dad, you're like, how did we
No.
become friends?
You're like, yo, little lad. No, I'm saying,
I didn't even know you had fun.
exactly. Like, what?
Like you're like, wow, when you were married,
Right.
your wife didn't let you have any fun.
Right.
Now you're turned.
It's like you looking at your phone like, I can't believe I'm texting this dude talking about what you wore tonight, bro.
Yeah, like we all know. You're like, wow, like you were a complete nerd when you were married. Like your wife controlled everything.
I know.
But I mean, we all had that friend, the friend who never did.
And now, oh, you trying to turn up now, huh, Bernard? Okay,
So now
it's
you're
the real Bernard
So
coming out now.
right? You're like, wow, okay. So you kept all this inside, you know?
Right.
But that is true. A lot
He's
of
like,
people
she tried to change me, man.
especially people, especially people in our age group, they got married young.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I was 27, turning 28. So I was 27, and I was turning 28 the next month. Wow. So, and I was actually old considering a lot, especially being from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Most of I had been in like 20 weddings already. People like got married right after college. I remember one of my chapter brothers, him and his wife, they're still married. At their graduation party, they had like a joint we all graduated together. He proposed to her at the graduation party.
That's nice. It just took over the whole graduation
I was
party.
like, wow, okay.
I have a question. What was his ethnic background?
No, they're black. They're
Oh.
yeah, but these are my fraternity brothers.
She wasn't pregnant?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
okay.
No, they.
Oh, all right.
Right.
Push him back.
Yeah, no.
But see, now that's the beginning. What you're talking about they just got married, right?
Yeah, they got married in '94. Yeah, I was in their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, yeah, because I remember when I was pledging, he used to make me take pictures of them at places where we would be. It was just completely.
Whoa.
He had we were at this event, and he was like, "Take pictures of us." And I'm
Were
like,
they on all fours?
No. We were at an event. We were just, your mom. You know what?
I'm just wondering.
For
I
the
just had a
not-
flashback. I didn't know if they was cleaning. I just was trying to make sure that I understood what was going on
I was
here.
in their wedding. Everything.
But now, can I just ask this though, please? Now, the social media has many different. It can have some different meanings, but. Do you ever feel like we know friends of ours that are still married? Well, they happy, whatever, etc. But is there anything that you glean when you look at Facebook now as a divorced person? Like, you know what I mean? Like what do you feel like you can see divorce coming from the Facebook page? What do you see? Like, what signs what's the signs of trouble in social media?
On the female's page, when she's just with her friends, when you see pictures of her, and she's with her friends a lot. With the guy, you see him with pictures with his kids all the time.
Okay.
So and you're like, and you never see them together. Or if you do see them, you'll see them on polar up on each end. The kids are in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So there's nothing that shows them cohesiveness together.
That means we're staying together for the kids.
We're staying together for the
Is
kids.
that what that means?
Yes,
Is
and
that
you
what
can
it
tell,
means?
right.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, wow. Like when I got divorced, I didn't do that. I still was taking, I didn't even know. Next thing I know, I was like, wow. And then the other thing is, and when they do get divorced, you always notice the woman takes down all the pictures of him.
Wow.
Like there's no, like me, first of all, I don't have that much time.
Yeah.
Like whatever, plus I thought if I posted the pictures, I thought they were hot pictures.
And if I post, I don't take down
care.
anything. If I post it, I'm on, etc. But you saying that it's kind of like, show me you're getting a divorce without saying or showing you're getting a divorce.
There's no more
That's what no pictures of your husband.
None.
Like, none of y'all together looking like y'all are having fun.
Or when they get divorced, they have the thirst trap pictures.
Okay.
The thirst trap pictures are the best, men and women.
I don't know. And sometimes too, sometimes even the well-intentioned ones, like the people who put their anniversary greeting up. Happy anniversary to my wife, my best friend. You hold it all together. You're my rock. You know what I mean? Happy 25th anniversary. I'm like, there is no heat in that oven, that's all. I don't know. But I don't mean to make assumptions, but these are the little things that you look at.
But I actually want to be one of those people who writes on Facebook, like, happy birthday to you, like, happy birthday to my one and only. If it wasn't for you, you're the wind. Like, I've seen people write like 2 to 3 paragraphs.
You the wind beneath my wings.
And I'm looking like, I'm like, you wrote all that? Like, you had that much time? But how about just happy birthday?
But that was that. You thinking about you and that, then her who shall not be mentioned.
Oh,
You
Shit,
never-
I wish I would.
Oh my God. Anyway, when we are about to take a break here at 811 Crew, when we get back, we're going to talk about the poll question for next week. It's
Yep.
the next show coming up, right?
Yep, we will talk about that.
All right.
I think I'm going back to Chad as my
As your club name.
Club name, so
I didn't
Chad-
have a club name, but
so
we'll
for
talk
wrestling,
about that.
yeah.
811 Crew, we'll be
Bye,
back.
Chad. Bye, Jason.
Yep.
811 Crew, we are back, and hopefully
Chad's back.
Chad's back.
Chad is
I
back.
don't have a club name, but
Cinnamon is here as well.
hello, Sin.
Hello.
Hey, son.
And-
We should give you a club name.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
would you think?
what do we
what's
think? Maybe we should have people online vote for it.
Vote for a club name for
club
Jason.
name? for
What should
Jason?
Jason's club name be?
All right, Carmen. I don't know if that's. I think we can make that official.
like
I don't know,
Like Tyrone. Like Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Or Carl. Or Carl. Carl will be Carl.
No,
Carl.
Carl
Not-
looks like a different.
not
you know.
Ricky.
See, that's why I went with Chad.
Ricky.
I like. Yeah, oh yeah, Chad.
Chad,
yeah,
but
yeah.
actually,
How about Dre?
like honestly, Dre. Actually, Dre. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Dre.
Dre. Okay.
Dre.
All
Okay.
right. All right.
So
All right.
Dre.
All right.
It's Chad, Dre,
Not
and
J.
Sin.
J to Dre. Okay.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can remember that.
All right.
Wait,
Okay,
wait,
no,
did
I'm
we
gonna
say
use that
Jay
next
or
time.
Dre?
No,
Dre.
Dre
Dre.
is now my
Okay.
club name.
Okay.
All right,
Dre.
there we
Dre.
go.
That-
Right.
Now we have to go out so we can actually.
You know what? I'm going to use that
Oh,
now.
it's-
That
oh,
is now.
It is so.
That is now my club name.
To have a club
Not-
name.
not- my club name is now Dre Turner, not Jay.
First of all, you don't
Dre
give. First
Turner.
of all, you
Okay, don't give your last
You
name.
don't give your whole.
Okay.
Like,
See, I'm used to introducing
Oh my
personal
God!
name.
Have you not been 10 years?
10
You haven't
really?
figured that out. You
No,
don't give
I-
your full name.
I give my full name. I introduce myself. I'm like, "Hi, I'm Jason Turner. Nice to meet you." I mean,
Now
and
they're
that-
gonna Google
even
you.
on my on Facebook, I have my full name because
Right.
my mama and all my
Yeah.
friends are there.
Mm-hmm.
But on Instagram, no.
I mean, I don't give my middle initial. I don't say Jason E. Turner, which is
Well, you
how
just
I
have
normally
now.
go. J.E.T. are my initials, baby. It's J.E.T. It's not a magazine or a mode of transportation.
It's not a motor.
It's not Jet. It's J.E.T. Oh, now finally, but let me tell you something.
Jet.
We also learned some things wrapping up here before we go into this next week's poll question. I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, please put some decent Facebook pics. If you love your wife or your husband, put something on there that shows that you love them.
Can we
Somebody
see y'all
should be
together?
thinking about it tonight. Show
Right.
me some love and happiness.
Love
us
and
some
happiness.
But it's got to be
Love and
real.
happiness.
Even if you got to go back 5 years to find something that's real, post something that's real. Don't
But don't go
post
back
the fakeness.
don't go back too far because some people have changed throughout the years.
Oh, right.
Oh,
They should,
yeah.
don't go
Yes.
back. Yeah, make sure you all look kind of the same. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Please do that.
Definitely do that. But one thing I've learned, 50-year-olds over 50-year-olds are definitely enjoying their life.
Yes.
They are.
Yes. Great point, bro.
But but especially in this area, being from the Midwest, going to the Midwest though, you don't have. It's a much smaller group of 50 and over that are actually.
Divorce, probably. I mean, I think the marriage rate might be higher out there in the suburbs. I mean, because there's nothing to be unhappy about, apparently.
There's divorce rates are still, but still the divorce rate's probably still about the same.
Okay.
But you just don't have a lot of 50-year-olds going up doing things.
Okay.
You don't have them. They're not into yoga. They're not biking. There's not as many.
And if you really
So-
get mad in your neighborhood, you could just build another house on your property.
Or a playground in between
or
the house,
play
the
with
two.
you. Or go to one of your rental properties and work it
Or
out.
just have a
We
pool-
need to be separated.
Just have a pool party.
Well, actually,
Going to another one of my houses.
they've built a house there now.
Oh, wow.
So there's a house there in between the empty lot. You know, the
Okay.
empty lot used to be now there's a house there.
Okay, very good.
And so yeah, but but being 50, I'm definitely glad I made it to this age. I'll be 52 in a week.
That's right. You 1 year. You 1 year down. We do have the same birthday, 8/11, but I am 1 year senior.
And I do accept gifts.
Absolutely.
Things
Now
that
look.
fold, Cash App.
Now this has been a great discussion about 50s, et cetera, 50 and over. But you know what? When we are on the 811 crew, we don't just talk about ourselves and personal things. We want to talk about all issues, and certainly politics is very big. I mean, I love political science. We both do love politics, and this greatly affects our lives. And one thing that we're seeing now is there's a huge divide. Not just, we started off, you and I, talking about this segment, and we were thinking that we were talking more about race. But in fact, we were thinking that the real divide that we're seeing is political. The Democrats versus Republicans, gridlock, January 6th, insurrection. There were good people of all colors out there, charging the Capitol, et cetera, right? Exactly. That wasn't just white people.
Yes.
So I feel like it's more of a political divide. Being an Ohioan, what think you?
For me, it was interesting because I remember. I actually think I know people who were at the insurrection.
Oh my God! Now table that discussion. All right, we gonna wrap that up, but I can't wait to find out that you had some of your classmates at the insurrection.
Right.
Some of them mugs are gonna get at least 7 years, and I'm gonna apologize on that ahead of time.
When you call them and they don't answer,
You
you'll
know
know
what
they
I'm
were
saying?
one of them.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell on Facebook they got rid of their Facebook like right after the election. Because one guy, he was making such outrageous statements, and the next thing you know, he got rid of his Facebook thing after the election, and we haven't seen him since. And I'm like, did he unfriend me? I said, let me look and see. But no, he's not on there at all. I actually think he was part of the insurrection.
Now that's interesting because one of the things that we're going to look at is in our poll question, for our next show coming up, we want to know, in asking for your 2 cents, is what do you feel is worse, racial tension these days or political unrest? Are we more threatened by race, or are we more threatened by political instability? Roe versus Wade, insurrection, whatever. What are you all feeling out there? We'll talk about that in A11 Crew and chop it up. Let's get political. Y'all ready to get political with us?
We're gonna be the new George Stephanopoulos.
Okay. Oh, wow. The new we're gonna be like the Black Tucker Carlson. No.
Ooh, no.
You wear bow ties.
Yeah, I do.
He
yeah,
does.
I do.
You could look like Tucker Carlson. Won't you try that? Next week we'll see with a bow tie. Let's see if you look like Tucker
I've
Carlson.
worn a bow tie before on the show.
Maybe we'll both wear bow ties. No, you stay with the bow ties. I'm gonna have something fly DC on next time. You know
All
what?
right.
811 Crew, we're out.
Chad is out.
Oh, Dre is out.
And Sin.
Thank you.
We out.
Let's go, pick your feet up though. Let's go, pick your feet up though. Come on.